What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Gemma.
Montegas.
I'm Melody.
And I'm Apollas. So guys, today what we are going to be doing is we are going to be answering some assumptions about homeschooling. How about we start off with like how many years we have been homeschooled firstly? So, I mean, Montegas and I have been homeschooled for about 7 years, I think.
I've probably been for about 7 years. Yeah, as well. 7 years.
Oh,
Yeah, same here.
And yeah, basically what we did is we went online on our different social medias, and we asked the question, will you be able to give us some assumptions of homeschooling? And that is what we have, and that is what we're going to be answering so that we can see how we each feel about it and just see about our different answers.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. I'm sorry. Montegas is making me.
So the first question is, we have, as homeschoolers, we have flexible hours and more free time.
Personally, I would say yes, because like you can kind of mix up your schedule a little bit. So I would say, yeah, you do have more free time, more flexibility, depending on what you do.
I will have to agree with Gemma. Like, you do have the flexibility with your time. And what I'm realizing is, yeah, we have a lot of free time, depending on our schedule. I agree, Gemma.
Yeah, one of the things is that you've got to be kind of good at managing your time, because otherwise you'd never get anything done. Like, you just procrastinate and do nothing. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% with the flexible hours, because I mean, we could wake up at any time if we wanted to. It depends if we have online classes, what type of work we do. So we definitely have a lot more time than school kids, and we can just do whatever we want in that time, basically.
The next assumption is your parents are your teachers. Personally, I mean, it depends, because you can do it online or you can do it like at home where your parents are. Normally when you do it online, you have tutors and stuff. So like, it depends on which way you choose to like do it. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it depends again if you do online class, but for me, I don't do online class. I do my like workbooks. So it depends. I feel like you can be independent and do it by yourself. I don't think that always have to be your teachers, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I do like courses online and Zoom calls with like different teachers for different subjects. But technically my mum and my dad are the teachers, because they teach me about life, like just general stuff in life and how to do things in life. So in a way, just not the educational part.
Yeah, same with me. Obviously, you have your parents there who can help support you if you ever need help. But when I was doing work, or when I was doing more work, what I would do it online, but I wouldn't have like teachers teaching me. I would just do it sort of off of bite size and different resources, and then just do it myself. So that's how I did it.
Being homeschooled, you learn about being independent and doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
But then with that, you need a lot of motivation. Otherwise, you're just
Yeah. The next assumption is no socializing. Yeah, so that's like a big one. Like, do you guys socialize? Do you socialize? Like, yeah, we socialize like all the time.
Yeah.
It just depends, like, if you go to groups or if you like meet different people in different places. Like, you have to be willing to actually go places. Like, you can't just expect to sit there at home and be like, I have no friends, because you're not going to get friends. But if you actually go out to different groups, like you can go to different homeschooling groups.
I think we do socialize. I feel like we do socialize, and and I feel like it's more, if you were, in terms of like school people, we socialize a lot more and we know how to socialize with different people. But for me, I've learned a lot about, again, socializing with different people, different ages, from different places. And not everyone's going to be from the same place, which is a challenge. But yeah, we do socialize.
Yeah. And also, not everybody's going to be the same age as you. Like, I literally hang out with like 7-year-olds. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. Personally, I have to agree with Montegas and Melody, because it's like we still have like tons of friends and like we still socialize like a ton. So it's like it doesn't really mean that we're not socializing just because we do it at home. Like, so yeah, I would say we still socialize like a lot.
This assumption is probably like the top assumption that I always get. Is like I have no friends, but clearly I have you guys, number one. It depends on the person, because I know homeschool people who they never actually go to any clubs. They're very antisocial. They're always at home. But then there are also other people like us. We do like to socialize. We go to different clubs. We meet people. Like, we will just go to the park and, you know, ask them to play basketball. And then, yeah, we get some free food from them sometimes, you know. But yeah, it really depends on like the person and how good they are at socializing. And it also helps that we went to school as well. So then we have extra like school friends, we got homeschooled friends, we just have like a mixture of friends.
And to add to that also helps with life. You have to remember that you're not going to find everyone from the same place. And with socializing, I socialize not just with my homeschooled friends, I socialize with people that go to school. And it's so difficult because the only thing they talk about is school, which makes sense. But like, it's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
Next assumption is better school trips, but a little lonely. That was something that someone put.
Wait, sorry, what was the assumption?
Should we like sort of split that in half? Firstly, like
Oh yeah.
Oh, the better school trips. I mean, it depends. Like, if you have enough money to go on these school trips, but then at the same time, it also depends on your school, because I grew up in a school in London, and some of the things that they do in other areas of the country, they don't do like in London. Like, some places will go to the beach. If you're in London, you can't do that. With us being homeschooled, we can go to the beach, and it is very fun. We can organize different trips to different museums, different like amusement parks, and just anywhere that we want to go. And then we can sometimes get like a discount, a homeschooling discount, which is great. So the school trips, the homeschooling trips, they can be very good and fun. And like, you can choose what you want to do instead of just going on one that the school chooses.
Yeah.
And another thing, with that, we learn how to plan social events, because our parents teach us how to organize the events.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and I give it up to those parents. Gosh, it's a lot of organizing that goes into organizing a trip, money, and all of that. It's just so much stress, but it's worth it. At the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's life skills, which I'll cherish.
Yeah, 100%. I would say, like, with what Apollo Montegas said, like, you also learn how to like organize things, like organize trips and like organize going out and like times and like where you're gonna meet and stuff, which is like good because it teaches you a lot. But then also, like, I would say with like school trips and stuff, they still are like really fun. Like Apollo saying, like the beach days and like those are like really fun. Like, so yeah. I would say it's
worth it at the end.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think the best thing about like homeschooling trips is that you can go during the week, and because if you go on like a Saturday or Sunday, say to like a theme park or something, it's always going to be
busy.
So many people, like it's always going to be the most. So like if you go during the week, then it's the best time because like nobody's there. And like for instance, we went to Legoland and there was still little kids because it's Legoland, but some of the rides there was like no queues and we were just like we can just go on everything. So that is a benefit.
Yeah, for sure.
The assumption was for the other half of that, but it can be a bit lonely as a homeschooler.
Yeah, I gotta say something about that. Yeah, it can be. It depends if you're like, I feel like if you don't have like a sibling or don't have friends, maybe it could be. But for someone who does have friends and has siblings, it's not lonely. Unless you make it lonely, it's not lonely at all. You just have to find the right people. That's personally.
Yeah, I would agree with Montegas because like it can be lonely. Then if you find the right people. You've been so loud with my door open. Oh, I could be bought really good clip.
I mean, I'm also barefoot as well.
I kind of agree with what Montegas says, is because like it can be lonely, but then at the same time it like can also not be lonely. It just depends on how much you decide to like socialize and make friends or like not, because like there is times where it can be lonely, like if you're sitting like doing classes like back to back and you're like, oh, I could be talking to friends right now or whatever, but you're like at home. So I feel like it can sometimes be lonely, but at the same time it can also like not. It just depends on how you kind of view it in a way. So yeah,
it can get lonely actually, but to be fair, the type of person that I am, I really like being alone. Like it's not necessarily lonely, but it's just being alone, and I actually enjoy that. And having siblings is definitely a plus, because when you're bored you could just go and annoy them, like they're right there, it's fine. But I don't really get that lonely personally, but it can get lonely like if your parents are working as well. So you're like, if you're all alone by yourself, like that is kind of sad. But
same with Melody. I enjoy being alone very much. Like I will happily just pick up a book and read that most of the day. But then at the same time, it also depends who I'm comfortable with, like whether I want to go see them or not.
Right. Yeah.
So it really depends on the type of person you are. If you're very social, then you might feel like it's lonely or a bit boring. But if you're not and you have stuff to do at home, then it's...
Yeah. There's something that says easy work.
Yeah. She basically thinks that we get easy work.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Quickly, can you be my B-roll?
Yeah, and mine, please.
The things we do. Okay. Hold on, let me just cover my face. I don't want to be in it. Okay, thank you. Oh, wait.
Wait, I'll retake.
The next assumption is, do we get easy work? Dun dun dun.
Personally, I would say no, because it's like it depends what level you're doing, because you still have like KS3, GCSE, and like all that. So it's literally about the same as you.
I'm so sorry.
Personally, I don't think like the work's like that easy. Well, it depends, because like you still get KS3, GCSE, and like all that. So like it varies on what you're doing, but it's like still similar to what you get like in school, like the work. Well, at least for mine, like the worksheets that I get for like all the classes I do, is basically the same that someone in school would get. I just do it online. So yeah, I would say it's not, you don't just get easy work because you do your work at home, if that makes sense. Yeah. You might tailor it to where it's easier for you to understand, but like not easy work. But yeah.
Agreed to some extent. But it is, we don't get easy work. We don't. We get the same hard work. Sometimes it's so hard that I can't even manage it. So we do get hard work. Don't go back.
Well, personally, my work is actually hard because, yeah, basically we do the same work as like school kids.
Yeah.
It's just different because a bit of story. One of the reasons why we got out of school was because of the pressure of the schoolwork, and so we have the same schoolwork, but it's just we can do it in a different way, like of learning. So if you don't have the ability to learn that quick and the way they teach in school, then you can have it in a different way. So it might not necessarily be easy, but it's easier to learn.
Or you could well, should I say the name? Well, someone that we all know, he is 13. He has done his maths GCSEs and he is now he's now going to do his A-levels, and he is 13 years old. So that's the great thing about homeschooling when it comes to the work. Like you can just go to your level. If you've got something like dyslexia or something, you find it harder to learn, then you are then able to learn at your own pace or how you want to. But yeah, it really depends on the person themselves, like whether they can go higher than what they would usually be doing in school, or just, do it at their own speeds. So that's the great thing about when it comes to work. So it can be easy, but at the same time, it could actually even be harder.
So one of the assumptions is you have to do your GCSEs. And some people say it's actually, okay, guys, I'm not even going to answer this question because I actually don't know the answer. Like, is it like illegal to not do in the UK? Okay, it's not illegal, right? Because someone said to me once, they were like, oh yeah, it's illegal not to do your GCSEs. So I've kind of been scarred, like, do I have to do my GCSEs? But if one of the reasons for homeschooling is that you don't have to learn in like we said, a certain amount of time, and if you don't want to do GCSEs and pursue something else, then you can do that. Like, that is the freedom of being homeschooled. You can, like, you don't have to do your GCSEs. You can, like Apollas, for example, start a business and do different things. So yeah.
I don't know anything to do with GCSEs, but I don't think you have to do it. It's just something they want you to do. And but I think it depends what you want to do, like professionally. Like I want to do acting, and they say you have to get your GCSEs to do that. Like you have to get your maths and English GCSEs to do that, and I don't want to because I know I'm not capable to. So it depends on. I think it depends on what you want. But generally, you don't have to.
I would say like the same, because well, I don't really know, like, if you have to, like, it's a rule that you have to have them. But, like, I know it's good to have them. So, like, for instance, like, I want to become a real estate agent, right? And, like, for instance, it's like I have to have my maths and my English. So it's like that type of things. But if you want to go, like, do something else, then you don't really have to have them, I don't think. So I don't necessarily say you have to, but, yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't think it's illegal to not do your GCSE. Obviously, they say it's good, but like sometimes people, they can pursue their own sort of businesses. They could start something. They could even like be so good at it that it doesn't actually matter that they don't have GCSEs. Like the people, their potential, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm hiring you. You are good for the job." So, I mean, you can do your GCSEs if you want to. You can do your A-levels and all of that. But then if you don't want to and you want to go do a different type of business or go down a different path, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to do GCSEs, that's more of what the school tells you, where it's like you go to school, you do your exam, and then you go get a job. Like with homeschoolers, half the time, you can just sort of do whatever you want and you can choose different type of things. So definitely not the best school system.
Yeah, and if you don't want to like do GCSEs, and you can use that time to invest in the thing that you want to do. So say like you don't need your GCSEs to say look after horses, because I mean, you won't really need your maths and English to do that. Like it gives you a bit more freedom to work towards the thing that you actually want to do. So yeah,
that's true.
So another assumption is it creates asocial kids. So asocial means avoiding social interaction. So like you come across the others as like antisocial. And you kind of avoid social interaction. Like some people that I know as a homeschooler has come out of school from they've like been bullied, or they've just had really bad social situations. So it can actually be really hard to come back out in the homeschooling world and socialize with other people. So they can come across as like, we don't want to socialize, and they kind of like avoid that sort of thing. So it doesn't necessarily create asocial kids unless you want to be asocial. Like,
makes sense.
Like, you know, you can like, unless the kid wants to be like what you were saying, it's like it doesn't really create it though from doing homeschooling. It does. What do you say?
All I'm gonna say is I definitely agree with Melody. Not much is to be said.
I feel like people like they have their different ways they deal with being homeschooled, and I feel like some people are not very social and some people are very social, or some people are a bit of both.
I'd say I agree with like all of you, because like
because sometimes it's like it's not the homeschooling which made the kids like that. It's literally the school, because of all the bullying and what they've been through. And they get anxiety and all of that, and that's why they come out of school. Because of that.
Is homeschooling boring or not fun?
Sorry.
Now answer. Keep me hanging.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. People say homeschooling is boring and not fun. Okay. I mean, it depends again on the person, like how they find what they find fun. Some people literally just stay on their phone all day. Some people actually go out. Some people go to clubs in the day. Some people go to like a homeschool group, like you guys, us, not you.
Not like dancing clubs, guys, where you get drunk and dance, but just like clubs that you that you do stuff.
So, I mean, it really depends again on the person, like what they find fun, if they have that, because I find reading fun and I've got tons of books, so then it's not really boring. If someone finds painting fun and they do that often, and that's not really boring. But if someone is literally just a sort of screen person and all they do is they're on the screen and then they're like, I'm sort of bored of this, but then they have nothing else to do or they can't think of anything, then like for them it's boring. So you've got to be really creative as well.
I agree with you, Apollas. I feel like it's something to do, like you have to find something to do. It's not boring at all. It's just you're not doing anything with the time you have. And it can be fun, just use the time wisely.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if you have, like, I would say, like, a lot of hobbies, it's, like, not boring because, like, you're filling up your day with, like, other things that you love doing. So at that point, it doesn't really become boring. But, like, say if you're, like, you're not interested in anything else, and, like, say for instance, let's say you're only interested in gaming or like something like that, then that's like all you want to do after like you're done with your work, and you're like, oh, I'm bored of gaming, but I have nothing to do, so therefore homeschooling is boring. But it's like technically not, because you haven't really got other things that you've decided to try out, or like that. Like if you fill up your time with like decent amount of things, then no, it's not boring.
Yeah, I think homeschooling can be like super fun. Like everybody else said, you kind of got to utilize your time and like find hobbies, because say through your day you have work and then you have like say certain hobby and then you have a club, so you can fill your day up with so many things. And another thing is getting a job, like a part-time job. Like even if you might be young, just find something you can do. Or like that is an example for like, I mean, it's something you can do if you ever get bored. Or if you love doing something, like Apollas said, like painting, you can sell your paintings, or you can do it, create a club and do it with other people. So it doesn't have to be boring. You just have to think of ideas to like do stuff.
Yeah.
Can I also just say, I feel like a lot of people think it's boring because of lockdown.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone had to stay at home and nobody could go out, nobody could meet up with no one. And so since then, I've gotten a lot more, homeschooling is boring, I wouldn't actually ever do that. But they never got like the proper experience of homeschooling, because you couldn't go out and meet people. It was literally just online school for like the school people, and then they do whatever, but they found that boring.
Mm.
Yeah.
Lockdown definitely helped with that sort of assumption and that stereotype.
Yeah, I would agree with what Apollo said, because like I was walking in the mall one day and I heard these kids talk about it. It's like, no, I'd never do homeschooling, like it's so boring. Like in lockdown it was so boring because all I did was my work and I couldn't go out. But it's like you literally couldn't go out because it was lockdown. So it's like, yeah, so, and I like didn't get to see my friends or whatever, but like because you weren't allowed to see your friends. But like with homeschooling you can see your friends and go out. So
I feel like we need to talk about like homeschooling, what their homeschooling was in lockdown compared to what homeschooling really is. I feel like that should be another episode, because that's like, I do, when we went in lockdown, it was so hard. Like I'd see all the kids and they're like saying, oh, homeschooling sucks.
yeah.
And I'm just like, that's not what homeschooling is. You don't just go and, no, you don't get a whole piece of filed work that you have to do and finish. You can have fun. But they got brainwashed to think that's what homeschooling is like. So I feel like that, you really need to talk about that. That's a good topic.
Yeah. The next assumption is it makes you uncool.
Violated.
Fired.
How do we even respond to that?
I mean, like, yeah, go on.
Like, guys, I have Air Forces. I have like social media. I'm cool. But like, what's the definition of cool, guys? Like, come on now. Like, just because we don't fit the stereotype of like every school kid, like everybody else. Yeah. Because we're different, we're uncool. Like, that's just wrong. But
exactly.
We're cool, like being uncool, you know. Like we're cool being uncool. Like we don't follow everybody else. Like start your own trends. Like you don't have to copy everything else everybody else does.
Yeah. I'm differently.
Oh yeah, you were definitely born differently as well, Montegas. I'm not saying different is bad. Different is great. Like different is amazing. Sorry.
But I can't really respond to that because we are cool. We're just different cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like
we're different.
Can I say an experience?
Yeah. Go on.
So when I was like 12 and 13, I was going through that stage where I wanted to start dressing like everybody else. I wanted to follow the trends and everything. And I was hanging out with some people that I knew that were homeschooling, and they weren't fitting the standards of everybody else. So I didn't judge them I was judging them in my head. Like, I wasn't judging them by saying mean things to them, but I was fiercely judging them. I was like, you are not cool. I don't really like you because you are not cool. Get away from me. That's what I was doing because they didn't fit the standards. And that's when I started feeling insecure about myself because I was scared to be different. And anything that wasn't cool with homeschooling, like hanging out with people that weren't fitting the standards and weren't cool.
Yeah.
I felt so insecure because of that, and it wasn't really worth that, because I'm glad now that I've gotten past that stage, because I have great friends and they are all cool in my eyes. You guys are all cool. You guys are so cool. But like, that was another major thing with friends. Like, you don't need to have cool friends that fit the standards.
I do agree with that, Melody. Fitting in is a big thing that I deal with even now. Like, trying to fit into my groups of friends and trying to be like them. And I'm too much. I'm not gonna be like them. I'm different. I don't do the same things. It's not. I'm not their twin. That in my head. But don't copy them. But like, for me, it's really hard not to. Because I want to be their friends, and I feel like not being myself, it's so confusing. Pretending to be someone else seems like the easiest way instead of being myself in some way. If you know.
Yeah, that's another thing with homeschooling. You get to choose your friends. Well, I mean, you can do that in school, but you can go to like different clubs and say you find somebody and they're not like, everybody's different. Like, we're not all the same, so you don't always find the same people. So, and you get to have like different friends with different like personalities, different from different places. Like, they're not all from one place, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next assumption is you can't get bullied. And you will get bullied. Like, you can get bullied.
You can get bullied anywhere, to be fair.
Yeah. Like, it's not just, I mean, to be fair, it's a lot better. I've never been bullied by people like the homeschooling community. I've always been bullied. Okay, no. I've been bullied once by this girl that I knew from a completely different place, but it wasn't part of homeschooling. So, like, it depends. But, yeah, I don't know.
You can get bullied anywhere. Just because you're homeschooled doesn't mean you're privileged to not be bullied or not get. You're not privileged. You're just...
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot safer homeschooling with bullying, to be fair. I think it is. But also you get cyberbullying as well. So like, as I'm on my computer a lot and I chat with people online, so I could get bullied by that as well. But like, yeah,
because I feel like you definitely get bullied in school a lot more than homeschooling, and that's why some people come out because of the bullying. But at the same time, I mean, to be fair, I feel like most homeschoolers that are very nice, they're very nice to other people. And like, if you've got, say, a disorder or dyslexia or autism, like, we're very accepting in that. But you still can get that certain person where it's like, they will bully you. Not very often, I would say.
John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall not die, but have eternal life. John 3:16. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave
Baby, it's the
Wait, Montegas, say a line. Let's create a sort of song or something.
Yeah, go on.
It.
Pause.
In the river.
What is
Down.
it? An actual song?
No,
Oh.
it's random. Like how you make a story, but instead like make a song.
Hi.
I'm the one
That you.
Need.
in your life.
That's right.
Honey.
Baby, call me.
On my phone.
On Sunday.
Or come and meet me.
In my home.
On Friday.
And we can talk.
About all the times.
You had me.
And punch me.
I don't know. Popping up. Oh, I have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Yeah, there.
What are you doing, Apollo? What are you doing?
Hey.
Probably taking a photo of you.
Oh, wait, no! Your mouth is moving a lot like that. My dad is obsessed with that. He keeps saying that to me. Apollo, make a silly face. Yes.
Perfect. Thanks.
All
Perfect. Thanks, Paula.
right, Montega, where are you?
Now, where did you go, dude?
Yeah.
Come back. Where you go?
I'm doing the end of the video now.
Wait a second.
Word of the day. Okay, so we've come to an end of all of the assumptions. So before we end, we've got a verse of the day, which is John 3:16, which is, "For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish but have eternal life." So hope that's encouraging, that you won't perish but you will have eternal life if you choose to believe. Anyways.
Okay, guys, so that wraps up the whole entire video. If you stayed to this point, thank you very much, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be long once it's all edited. And but yeah, thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and press that notification bell so that you are notified every single time. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.